Hello, and welcome to a very special live stream where we're going to be signing my name over and over again. Just going to hide that, oh God, package of peanut butter crackers that my kids obviously enjoyed last night. Welcome to our two new members. Really closing in on 350 members now. I believe we have 342. Varden and Jack, appreciate y'all. I still have not figured out how to do. I still have not even begun to figure out the problem of gift subs. I don't understand why I can't do it, and I tried to investigate it last night for about 30 minutes, and I became overwhelmed. So I gave up. There is a way to do gift subs in YouTube, and other people have successfully done it. And I don't understand why I only have super chats and super stickers turned on. But look, I've made progress as a streamer just because now I have that I'm using a fancy camera and I have that wide frame. So I don't actually know if I'm in focus or anything, but I feel like this is still progress. You can see how messy my whole basement is. You can see the area where I film over there. I film in my real basement, Vlogbrothers, homemade since 2007. Nobody edits it. Nobody shoots it. It's all just me. Just me trying to. I think that's what people like about Vlogbrothers, though. I think people like the fact that Vlogbrothers is still sort of handmade in a world where most YouTube video isn't. It still looks quite old-fashioned, retro even. And I think that's one of the reasons why people still kind of like trust us. There's something about that just visually communicates, oh, these guys are cool. These guys don't take it too seriously. These guys are more focused on the writing than they are on the cinematography, which is certainly true in my case. Hank's a pretty good cinematographer. I have almost no technical talent whatsoever, and so got to lean heavily into the writing when it comes to a Vlogbrothers video. But yeah, so I still haven't figured out why you can't get membership. If anyone has any ideas, you can leave them in the live chat, and then I'll see it later when I watch the replay. Now that I'm a member, I can watch my own video replays. So that's nice. And yeah, it should get sorted. I'm sure that I'll continue to learn things as I become a better and better streamer. That's the goal anyway, is to keep making progress, continue to learn. This is fun, man. I'm having a great time learning a new thing, you know? And we're raising money for AFC Wimbledon. In fact, I got in touch with the head of commercial operations yesterday, and I said, listen, if there's an upcoming game where we can put a Project for Awesome logo on the sleeve, we officially have enough money to do that, thanks to the super chatting and the members and everything. So that could be fun. Then we got to figure out what logo we want to have if there's an upcoming game where we could have one. And then they give you a shirt with your logo on it, signed by all the players, and I'll do a giveaway for that. I was like, oh, I'll do a giveaway like a proper streamer would. Give it to a random member. Made it all possible. And this is streamer thinking now. Okay, I'm getting into the streamer mindset. For those who are asking, I'm signing my name over and over again because these sheets will be what's called tipped in. They'll be bound in to copies of my new book that comes out next year. What is the book called? I can't tell you yet. What is the book about? It's about tuberculosis. Is it fiction or nonfiction? It's nonfiction. I think I answered all the questions that I usually get about the book. I can't tell you yet, partly because I don't know yet. I won't do more than 100,000. I don't know that I'll do the full 100,000. It depends on how many people pre-order the book, but I won't do more than 100,000 because I'm not as young as I used to be. I did 250,000 for the Anthropocene Reviewed, and that was really challenging. That ended up involving quite a lot of physical pain, but also it got to a point where it just wasn't much fun anymore. And ultimately, I want this to be fun. I want it to be a fulfilling experience where I'm reminded each time of what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. And it got to the point where I was like, this was foolishness. Hey, shout out to Callie Criswell, who just became a member of the Wembley Womblies, a co-owner. Welcome, Callie. Any idea when pre-orders will be available? Asks Izzy. Yeah, a vague idea. I think it'll be sometime in September. It's a little difficult because Pizzamas is in September, and we're like officially hard launching tea and coffee in September. So, spoiler alert, but we're rebranding the Awesome Coffee Club as Keats & Co. Coffee to go with our tea brand, Keats & Co. And we're sort of properly launching that stuff in a couple weeks. So we've got that to launch. We've got Pizzamas, which is a big deal in Nerdfighteria, an important way that we fund our work with Partners in Health. And then I've got to announce this book at some point. So it's a crowded month. I don't want to overwhelm Nerdfighteria with promo because I feel like we already do that too much. But it's hard because we make a lot of things and we want to promote them. So it's a challenge. We have a new member. I have to say thanks to them. It's a stacked September. Gray Giant, 1957. I think if you're actually born in 1957, I believe you're our oldest known member, oldest self-identifying member anyway. Thank you. Thank you for being here with us. And thank you for being a Gray Giant. We don't have enough Gray Giants. I am pretty anxious about September just because I also have a lot of travel. Sarah and I are going on a trip with our best friends, Chris and Marina. And there's a lot of stuff going on with the kids around, homework, and Henry started high school, and it's just a lot. So it's going to be a weird month, but hopefully I'll be able to announce the tuberculosis book officially and have it available for pre-order, if not in September, then early in October or something, maybe. I think Pizzamas actually goes through early October. I think it goes through Sarah's birthday. So, yeah, just a lot going on, y'all. I mean, all good things, stuff I'm grateful for. But in general, I got to figure out what parts of my job I want to continue doing now that I'm nearly 50 years old, and what parts of my job I want to start to retire from. I love all my jobs, but I also recognize that I need to start stepping away from some things in order to stay sane. That was a big part of what caused the mental health crisis of earlier this year, was just not doing a good job of balancing work and life. So there will probably be some changes in the next year or two. But one thing I would definitely want to continue doing if I can is Vlogbrothers. And I want to continue doing, I'm enjoying this a lot. I mean, as long as I enjoy this, I want to continue doing this. I'm going to move this here so that I can get a little elbow support. Oh yeah, that's better. Kind of the stiller I can keep my elbow, the better this tends to go. Yeah, so in other news, I have about 30,000 of these sheets to sign, and I've signed about 4,000 so far. I'll get more as pre-orders come in and we get a sense for the appetite for the book. If there is an appetite for the book, hopefully there will be. We'll see. But yeah, I've got a long ways to go, but it's enjoyable. It's easy. Good work if you can get it. And thanks to Netices for becoming a member as well. Appreciate you. Yeah, carpal tunnel has never been an issue for me. I could see how, I mean, if it did become an issue, it would probably become an issue pretty fast, at least according to my physical therapist. I've never, I had shoulder and elbow issues early on with my, is it your, what's the other nerve that goes through there? Um, there's another nerve that goes through there that became very inflamed and very painful, goes through your elbow. And, but it wasn't my carpal tunnel nerve. It was a different one that I can't remember the name of, and really freaking hurt. Um, my left hand, because it does this, actually starts hurting before my right hand starts hurting usually. My right hand is quite supported, and I don't have to move my wrist that much to do my signature. But my left hand makes, making that motion 30,000 times is a lot. But, lots of people have it. It's not a big deal. It's not an issue. I've been able to manage it really well. So I enjoy this. I wouldn't do it if I didn't enjoy it. And also, I hope that it will bring a little bit of delight to the people who pre-order the book. So I've thought about live streaming on TikTok as well or Instagram, but there's just the moderation kind of sucks. And here we have such good mods. The vibe is so good. I don't really want to mess with it, even if it costs me a lot of audience. Like YouTube is not the platform for live streaming, obviously, but it is the platform where Nerdfighteria is headquartered. I mean, I guess there's a lot of Nerdfighters in Discord and Reddit and Twitter and lots of different places, but it feels like YouTube is still the hub. Oh, thanks for the kind words, Alex, and for the super chat. It's funny. Like people often say that I'm open about my mental health, and I guess I have been, but I also haven't been. Um, there's a lot that's personal and private. I've never talked about the loci of my particular obsessive thought spirals. Um, and I think that's for a good reason. Like that's at the recommendation of my therapist and everything. But there's some stuff that I definitely keep private, and I really tried hard to keep my depression private this year, and it just became impossible. But the challenge of it for me, which I realize is a unique challenge, but the challenge of it for me is that if I do talk about my mental health to Nerdfighteria, it also means that I'm talking about it to the Indianapolis Star, which is my hometown newspaper, which a lot of people, in our real life community read. And then Sarah and I have to field all kinds of well-meaning, if not always helpful, calls and outreach and expressions of concern and whatnot. Almost all of which are well intended, but a few of which are a little passive aggressive, I think. And it's just kind of it's just challenging to. I mean, it's challenging in general to manage the public and private parts of my life, but I do want to be open enough about my mental health to make it clear that people with depression and OCD and other mental health issues also can lead very full lives. And so I want people to say like, oh, he has a good life. He has a stable adult life and also has these serious mental health issues. And hopefully, especially young people can find a little hope in that. And I think that's really important for teachers as well. So thank you for doing that with your students. Yes, my ulnar nerve. Thank you, Emoing Streams. And thanks for the positive vibes. My ulnar nerve. That's exactly what it is. I had ulnar nerve entrapment, which is very painful, very, very uncomfortable. But I got it addressed, and since then I haven't really had any problems. I did have to ice my hand a lot after while I was doing the 250,000, but like I said, this is going to be a lot easier. It's going to be at least 2.5 times easier. And I felt good for the first 100,000. It was really only after that it started to be an inconvenience. The people are asking for potato. Also, have you heard of Bill Wirtz? Not only have I heard of Bill Wirtz, I've met Bill Wirtz. Bill Wirtz came to VidCon one year, and we got to hang out. He was a really fascinating character, as you would imagine, and I'm a big fan of his history work, the way that he distills history into something manageable, and I like his music too. So yeah, I'm a big fan. I don't know if Potato's going to come down here. Potato's not really welcome in the basement due to his propensity for marking in the basement. But if the kids bring him down here, then we'll get to see him. He is a cutie, that Potato. We need a potato emote. But unfortunately, I don't know how to design emotes. I just have to wait until they appear in my inbox at sparksoyup@gmail.com. Yeah, this is the true story. I wish I knew how to design them. That would make me a better streamer. How many is that? Maybe, let's take a look. 250? Let me see. Yeah, 250 maybe? I don't know. Somebody can count. You can just watch the whole live stream again and count. Jonathan Williams just became a member of the Wimbly Womblies. Thank you. I'm so excited for you to be a member. And I think that we are now at 349 members. So very close to 350 members. If we got to 500 members, that would be about half of one player's salary, and then I would pay the other half. And so we would be in a position where we could start to be really actually paying for a player, which is kind of ridiculous, but kind of beautiful. And that's only in 1 month. I think today is my 1 month anniversary of being a professional live streamer, although a professional live streamer on behalf of AFC Wimbledon's playing budget. And I've really enjoyed it, genuinely. I'm kind of surprised that I enjoyed it because it seems like it would be a big outlay of energy. it hasn't been. It's just nice and like feels like the old blog TV days. Feels like I can connect with Nerd Criteria in a fairly light and safe-ish space. And it's been really good. I'm grateful to all 712 people who are here. Although you don't have to become a member to chat. All you have to do is subscribe, and that keeps subscriber only mode on just for like just to make it a little easier for the mods. A little less stress for the mods. So yeah, if you're here. Oh look, we just got our 350th member. It's Therese. Therese, welcome to the gang. You're a co-owner of the AFC Wimbledon Wimbly Womblies, currently plying their trade in the South Coast in Bournemouth. One other thing I've got to do to be a proper good streamer is like go through all of my VODs and make a highlight reel so that people can understand the lore a little bit. But I just haven't had time or energy to do that yet. Seems like a lot of work, actually. Also, shout out to Idril for becoming I hope I pronounced your name correctly, for becoming a member of the Wimbly Womblies. And thanks to all the mods in chat as always. That's 351. Now we're just 149 away from being able to pay for half of a player, with me paying the other half. Don't tell Sarah. It's not actually a cause of tension in our marriage. Sarah is very understanding of my AFC Wimbledon addiction, but she's also conscious of the fact that our money can be used in better ways. Which is correct. I like to make sure that at least 1% of them have spirals or DFTBA. So like every 50 or so, I try to remember to write a spiral or a DFTBA. Hey, buddy.
Hi, Dad. Can we order some lunch?
Yeah, I'll order you some lunch now. Okay, bye.
Fine.
Hold on a second. This is too easy, because that means if it's easy, that means you do it too often. You know what I mean? And I do this too often, but whatever, I'm doing it. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm getting myself a Diet Dr. Pepper because I'm not above that. All right. I mean, we haven't gotten to the point yet where the kids can order their own food, but yeah. Dash Reardon just became a member of the Wimbly Womblies co-owner. Thank you. I remember cooking carrots with Henry. Yeah. Yeah. I do too. That sweet little boy. He was so sweet. He was such a little boy. It was the best. Now he's a big kid. I have assigned turtles all the way down, and it's one of my most prized possessions, says Idril. That's so cool to hear. Oh, that makes me want to sign all these books. Motivates me to keep signing, because each of these signatures will be in somebody's book, which is pretty cool. And I'm glad that you got a purple Sharpie. This time around, I've decided to do something a little different, which is that you'll be able to know how far in, you'll be able to know approximately when your book was signed based on the color of the Sharpie. So I'm going to do all greens first, and then I'll do all blues, and then I'll do all reds, and then I'll do all purples. Isn't that a good idea? I thought that was a good idea. So you'll be able to know, like mine was one of the first 10,000, or the second 10,000, or the third 10,000, or whatever. But I do like the purple Sharpie. My favorite Sharpie is navy, and there's a related color that I really like that's also dark blue. But I figure I'll save those for the end, so I'll have something to look forward to. But I like the green a lot. And there's the good joke about how I really only have to sign John as long as I sign it in green. So is that 352 members? 148 away from 500. I bet there's like people who aren't from Nerdfighteria who are here, who just like, what the hell is happening? What is this guy's hypergraphia? I do sometimes think about getting to 1 million signatures. That would be pretty cool. I don't think anyone's ever done that before. But to do that, I would have to probably write at least 5 more books, which is actually the bigger challenge than signing my name 400,000 more times. Writing books is hard for me, man. This TB book, even though it's pretty short, it just took forever. Thank you to some fresh bread, both for being a delicious, delicious food and for becoming a co-owner of the AFC Wimbledon Wimbly Womblies. One of the things that YouTube says I should do is that it? No, there's a whole box in here. One of the things that YouTube says I should do is set up like multiple levels of membership. I don't want to do that. That just seems like I don't know. That just seems that I realize that this entire channel is a cash play, but that seems like a cash play. I don't know. Maybe I'll do it eventually. TM Romance says, "Woo! I finally caught up. Do you know how many papers are in a sheaf?" No, I have no idea actually. Yeah. Will we be seeing the Electro Jogger? I'll pull out the Electro Jogger at the end of today's stream. What are we at now? 12:19 p.m. Yeah, I'll pull out the Electro Jogger at like 12:50. Maze Who just became a member of the AFC Wimbledon Wimbly Womblies, a co-owner. Thank you. But yeah, the Electro Jogger is just sitting over there doing Electro Jog things. It's just getting ready. It's fired up and ready to go. It's a great idea. And the stream the old-fashioned way with a little Electro Jogging. So what the Electro Jogger does is you see how all these papers look like this. Oh, wait, over here. They look like this. They're like not lined up at all. The Electro Jogger makes them all line up. I don't know if I can do it with that camera. Oh, I'll figure it out. You know, we'll figure it out together. I keep forgetting I'm on my fancy Dear Hank and John camera. Well, we got 2 new members. Charlie, thanks for becoming a Wimbly Womblies co-owner, and also Dominic. Appreciate it very much. And somebody in chat said, the rhythm is fire. Let's just listen to the rhythm for a minute. That is a pretty fire rhythm. You're right. Erie just gave $1 to AFC Wimbledon's playing budget for every year they've been a nerd fighter. That's incredible. And Amy Jo Green, my cousin, just became a Wimbly Wombly's co-owner. Have the Electro Jogger sign some pages. John, your space podcast is the most delightful piece of media I've consumed this year. Your chemistry is so great. I'm so sad for it to end. I'm really sad for it to end too. We made this, Dr. Katie Mack and I, the cosmologist, Dr. Katie Mack and I made this podcast about the whole history of the universe and how the laws of physics work and why we know that we're in a universe and why we know the approximate age of that universe, and how protons work and how the fundamental forces interact with each other. And it was just a ton of fun. I feel like I learned so much. We started it out just Katie and I wanting to make a podcast together. I mean, it started because I reached out to Katie. I'm going to switch markers. I reached out to Katie and just asked if, she'd be interested in making a podcast with me. And she said yes. And we've been on this great adventure ever since. And I'm going to miss it a lot. I really have enjoyed it. And I really think so highly of Dr. Mack as a person and as a science communicator. So mostly I've just been listening to Dr. Mack explain the history of the universe, but I have gotten to ask some questions along the way. It's been a lot of fun. All right, I'm going to grab some more paper here. Shaman Doom asks a very important question. What, in your opinion, needs to happen for the real life AFC Wimbledon to get promoted this year? Now, I'm going to be honest with you, Shaman Doom. I would not have embarked upon this adventure if I did not believe, this is how many I'm signing now. I would not have embarked on this adventure if I did not believe that this could be the year. This could be the year. This could be the year that AFC Wimbledon get promoted. And I'll tell you a few reasons why. First off, there's no huge teams left in League Two. So Wrexham, incredibly well-funded, really good owners, Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney, really, really well-run football club. They were always going to get promoted out of League Two last year. So there was only really 3 promotion spots available instead of the usual 4. So the way it works in English football is if you're in the Premier League and you finish in the bottom 3 of the Premier League, you move down to what's called what's the second tier, which is called the Championship. And then if you finish in the bottom 3 of that, you move down to the 3rd tier that's called League One. If you finish in the bottom 4 of that, you move down to the 4th tier that's called League Two. So you can move up and down the leagues. So theoretically, Wimbledon could become a Premier League side in just 3 seasons, but it's not going to happen because we don't have any money. We are of the 92 teams in professional football in England, only 4 made a profit last year, and we were one of those 4 because we have to make a profit. We cannot borrow money from our rich owners because there are no rich owners. We are owned by the fans. So Wimbledon is fundamentally different from almost all football clubs in England in that it is truly fan-owned and fan-run. This is great in a lot of ways, but it does mean that we can't invest more in the club than we have as a community to invest in it. And so we can't rely on deep pockets that dream of someday being in the Premier League and making billions of dollars. That's good in a lot of ways. I think it's overall really good because it means that Wimbledon have to live within their means, and the other football clubs that act unsustainably usually get found out eventually, and a lot of times those clubs end up disappearing or going into bankruptcy, and all kinds of terrible things can happen. But it does mean it's really hard. I mean, Wimbledon have one of the best attendances in League Two. We get around 7,500 or 8,000 fans every game. We have an international profile because of the club's story and because of the way it's run, and a little bit because we have prominent international fans like me and Jamie Tart, Phil Dunster, the guy who played Jamie Tart in Ted Lasso. There's a few reasons why Wimbledon is in a better position in terms of narrative and size than most League Two clubs. But we got to live within our means, which is really hard, and that also means that we can't go out and buy the most expensive players. We have to find players from leagues below us, or we have to build great players in our youth academies. And I think we've done a really good job of that so far. And I think this season could well be the season because we've built a solid team, because there are no huge clubs in League Two that take up some of those automatic promotion spots, because AFC Wimbledon have now had 3 or 4 years inside the new stadium to build up the playing budget a tiny bit, and because I genuinely believe, and I would not say this if I didn't genuinely believe it, I genuinely believe that this stupid little project where I play FIFA and do live streams can be the difference. Like, this could be like 10% of Wimbledon's playing budget on its own. And if you have a 10% better playing budget, you have a 10% better team, potentially, if you have really good recruitment, which I believe that we have. So, like, I think this could put us over the top. And I wouldn't have organized the whole thing this way if I didn't believe that. So do I think we can get promoted this year? Yes, I really do. I really believe that we can get promoted this year and head up to League One. And I think that we can be a good team in League One. I don't know if we can make the championship, which is the 2nd tier of English football, but I think we can compete in League One in the 3rd tier of English football, especially if like Wrexham get promoted out of League One this year, which I assume they will. They're headed for the Premier League. Their story is incredible, but our story is also incredible. It's just different. Has to be slower because of the way we're run, because our celebrity owner is John Green, not Ryan Reynolds, and other reasons as well. As Benedict Cumberbatch says, hope is the thing with FIFAs. It's true. I mean, look, we won 3 out of our first 4 games this season. There's no reason why we can't get promoted. But, the main thing every year is to avoid relegation, because that's the catastrophe. If you get relegated out of the 4th tier, you're no longer a professional football team technically. And it's really, really hard to get back into the football league after you get kicked out of it. So number one thing is to make sure the club is stable enough and successful enough to not risk losing our spot in the football league. Number 2 thing is to reach for promotion. And number 3 thing is to beat the living crap out of the franchise currently plying its trade in Milton Keynes, which happens in 13 days. or 12 days. 12 days from now, AFC Wimbledon will play the franchise at Plough Lane. Always a nervous-making fixture. No getting around the size of that one. Yeah, it's weird how much of an animating force in my life football is. But I think we all need those animating forces, whether it's like love of botany or love of knitting or love of Love is Blind or whatever it is. There has to be something that kind of becomes a community force in your life, a spiritual and emotional third place. I can't believe there's 910 people just watching me sign my name over and over again. But if you, just to give those people who are new a quick update, can we not rewatch the stream unless we're members? That is correct, unfortunately. Can you tell us how you first got involved with AFC Wimbledon? Sure. So just to recap, I haven't figured out how to do gift subs or gift memberships. I would like to figure that out, but I don't know how. So if you know how, let me know. But it doesn't seem to show up anywhere in my YouTube studio, at least that I can find, as something that I can toggle on. And I see when you go to the little money thing that it doesn't say gift a membership. And I don't know why. It's super annoying. I'd like to fix it, but I'm not a very good streamer yet. What are the advantages to becoming a member? Well, you can see the videos on demand, and you can support AFC Wimbledon's playing budget. And also you can use funny emotes. Like there's an open-mouthed emote, and so you can use all the funny emotes. I guess that's the main benefit. And how many members do we have? About 353. So we're doing good. I don't know. I think that's less than Ludwig has, but I'm still happy. And where do you become a member? If you're on PC, it's like right down there somewhere or down here. I don't have a very good sense of direction because of my aphantasia, but it's somewhere down there. It doesn't say join, and you can join, but you don't have to join. Don't feel obligated. I'm just glad that you're here, listening to me sign my name over and over again. We do have a new member who I should thank, though. Oh yeah, look at Charlie using those emotes, and that is Anna. Anna, welcome. You are the best. I mean, you're tied for the best, but you are among the best. I am, as for what I'm doing, I am signing these sheets of paper that will then be bound into copies of my new book, which is about tuberculosis. It is a work of nonfiction. It is a short book about tuberculosis. It's partly about the history of tuberculosis and partly about one young man trying to survive tuberculosis, even though it never should have been challenging for him to get treatment. So it's about the historical forces that kind of act upon all of us and that end up shaping the world that we share. But it's told through the lens of tuberculosis. Hopefully, if I did my job, it's also a meditation on the historical causes of medical and other forms of inequity in our world and how culture and imagination shape what we call biomedical experiences just as much as the biomedical part of it does. Like, as some of you may be aware, for a long time, tuberculosis was a heavily romanticized disease. It was believed to be inherited. It was believed to be an illness associated with personal genius and great beauty. And then when we came to understand tuberculosis as an infectious disease caused by a bacteria, we started to think about it very differently and started to really treat people with tuberculosis as if they were less human, as if they were scary and threats and dirty and unwell and just something to distance ourselves from. And as a direct result of that, even though tuberculosis has been curable for the last 70 years, we've done a terrible job of getting that cure to the places where it's most needed. So if you or I get extensively drug-resistant tuberculosis, we have like a 95% chance of survival. And if somebody in Sierra Leone does, they have less than a 5% chance of survival. What's causing that inequity is kind of the question that's at the center of the book. Oh, that was a good signature. Look at this one. I did a good job for once. I'm very pleased with that one. Oh, yeah. That's the good stuff right there. When can we pre-order the book? Probably later this month. Jeffrey's here, as is Kristen. Is the book about our friend Henry? It is. It is, Kristen. It is about Henry. And Wendy just, Wendy or Winetti just became a co-owner of the AFC Wimbledon Wimbly Womblies. Thank you very much. We're inching toward 400 members. See, if I was a good streamer, I'd have that like thing on the screen that's like goal 400 members, currently 356 or whatever, but I'm not a good streamer. So I'll get there. I will be a good streamer eventually. Electro jog time, give me 10 minutes. Give me 10 minutes. I'm enjoying signing too much. Who else, son? Thank you to Michael Wilson for becoming a member of the Wimbly Wombly's co-owner group. We appreciate you. Together, we shall own a football club. What do we have to get you to do a collab stream with Ludwig? He needs the exposure. He does need the exposure. I would do a collab stream with Ludwig so fast. Ludwig came to the premiere of the Turtles All the Way Down movie, and he was an absolute delight. He was a wonderful person to meet, and I really enjoyed it. And I would collab with him anytime. All right, hold on. I'm going to go get the Electro Jog. I'm getting the Electro Jog. It's happening, y'all. We're going to be Electro Jogging momentarily. Oh, this thing is heavy. Oh, boy. Oh, God. Oh, my goodness gracious. Oh, the Electro Jog is heavy. Okay. There you are in all your glory. Let's get you plugged in, baby. Let's get you plugged in. 1956 style plug. There we go. All right, I'm gonna turn you now. Get ready. Get ready to turn. You're turning. You're turning. You're turning. You're turning. Hopefully you can see the Electro Jog. Let's see. Can you see the Electro Jog? Oh, heck yeah, you can. It's looking good. Here's the stack of papers we'll be Electro Jogging today. And let me bring you over here. Let me bring you over here so that I can still interact. Hold on. Here you go. Hello. Look at that Electro Jog. Look at it. It's beautiful. We got to move this further away so that it doesn't distract. Hold on. Ooh. Okay, there we go. Wait, I got to come back a little bit. That's the shot. I just want to get it exactly right, you know? You know how it is with this kind of things. Thanks to Kate W. for becoming a co-owner of the Wimbly Womblies. All right, so the way this Electro Jog works is that it jogs. I can't remember where the button is to make it jog. Oh, it's right here. So that's how it works. You turn it on. It's from 1956. You turn it on and it does this. And that may not seem like a lot of action, but look how out of shape these pages are. I mean, look at these pages, okay? That's an out of shape set of pages. But you put them in the Electro Jog. You don't even have to do anything. You just hit the button. Then you jog it a little bit. We're just jogging. You pull out the pages. And boom. They're perfectly aligned. Perfectly aligned. Boom. Perfect. And you take a few more pages. Put an Electro Jog. Jogged. Here, I'll turn it around so you can see a little bit of the actual jogging process happening. But those are some jogged pages. They've been Electro Jogged. And you just stack them. All right, let's do a few more here. Boom, jogged. Look at that. Look at that. It's incredible. I love Electro Jogging. Let's do two more. Number one. Perfect. Fully jogged. And then number two. Yes. It's so rare and fulfilling and wondrous to see order emerge from disorder. It's so against the nature of the universe to turn something that was intractably disorganized into something that's just perfect. Perfect. thank you so much for coming to my live stream. I hope that you enjoyed it. I loved being with you. I hope that you're doing well and that you have a good Labor Day. DFTBA, everybody.